Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Bradley J. Burt, reporting in Sun Prairie, Wisconsin. So I want to go over what's happening right now. It's very complicated, it's very complex, and I understand that it confuses everybody because there's 6 different entities going on right now. I'm a student at Madison College, a student at the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater, someone who completed the E-Seed course at Fox Valley Tech, and I'm now the owner of Autumn Landline Productions. I'm the CEO of a registered trademark, which is Outpost 422. Outpost 422 is a backpack journalism service. That's all it is. And a federal lobby. And this, the Jaded Patriot Press. We're creating a canvas, sort of a task force for the Lion of Judah Rastafari Church. And we're bringing hope to the hopeless by showcasing non-essential Americans during the pandemic. You know, it's a really fucking shitty thing to call us by the federal government. Because I'll tell you, I've met some really hardworking people along the way. Uber drivers, all the way to brothel drivers, stuff like that. They're like, look, we didn't get anything during the pandemic because we're considered non-essential. Well, that's what they say about us too, veterans with PTSD. They say we're non-essential too. We're non-essential to the system. So, in hindsight, to what I've experienced, 2020, which is what launched this medium together, we're going to dispel the myth that veteran PTSD is honorable and everyone else's is just a myth. You know what? You don't want this diagnosis. They box you in wherever you go. They put you on the federal watch list. You get stopped by law enforcement, they bring 6 or 7 people along and just make things worse. And most important, like with the Lion of Judah, it's like law enforcement has to escalate everything. It doesn't have to be that way. There's a division between church and state. State is federal, state is on the state level, church is on the federal level. And states are imposing sanctions on cannabis churches. And they're finding out in the end, which I'm going to bring on board, an individual by the name of Heidi Grossman, who owns Sugar Leaf Rasta Church, to help Jesse Schwark and the Lion of Judah get him back reparations for what they did to him. Because that's what comes next. I told Madison Normal this when I was their club enforcer, and they just laughed and ignored me. They created a pseudonym named Bob Cobb to backdoor lobby the state capitol with Republicans, and I took it over. I left the organization. I took it to Madison College and UW-Whitewater and cleaned it up and said, how are we going to ethically do this with a pseudonym? How are we ethically going to do this with weed churches on campus? And they just said simply just roll it into a cooperative. So as a cooperative of writers and publishers and multi-video producers, we come together at Autumn Landline Productions for one master story. But at the Jaded Patriot Press, we run press coverage of all things non-essential. Because this is a fat fuck you to those who think they're superior over us. This is what Bobby Seale did. You see, the Jaded Patriot Press is like the Black Panther. We have a 10-point plan. We have a trust fund. We have a network of nonprofit organizations coming together to create one corporate citizen to take down corporate control over cannabis. It's pretty simple. And now, this class project's coming to Whitewater. This live stream's letting you know the Lion of Judah will be welcome into my class projects. And the Jaded Patriot Press will be covering every one of the future events, giving Jesse Schwark a chance to speak his voice, because they like to shut it down. The media uses a libelous method of showcasing him as an endangerment to society, but little do they know that this guy goes over to Africa and he's a missionary. He is. We're going to show you that. And as a jaded patriot, his federal rights are infringed upon running a weed church in Madison, Wisconsin. It's perfectly legal. I told Madison Normal this in 2018, and now we're here. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to cover it. We're going to make a documentary out of it. We're going to pitch it to Netflix and see what we can come up with. We're looking for investors, accountants, lawyers, to establish a federal 501c4 social outreach program to help pandemic refugees find their spiritual center. And moving forward from there. I'm Bradley J. Burt, reporting this on Prairie for the Jaded Patriot Press with your update. Peace.